Hello everyone. In today's video we will be talking about tables. The first thing you need to do is put your title and split your paper in half right across the middle. Now here you need to glue in the first problem on the top half of your notes. Remember that you can pause the video as we go along whenever you need some extra time to glue, to write, or whatever it is that you need. Okay, so in tables, we're talking about relationships between a pair of numbers. The word pair means two. So it's important that we know that we're looking at a pair of numbers together, two numbers together. We can't go just across the table or down the table without looking at the pair of numbers. So here we have our first problem. We're going to go ahead and read it just like we do all the other problems. Circle important information, underline the question like we always do. I'm going to start by reading the question. What is the missing number of soda cans in the table? So I'm looking for the missing number of soda cans. And I can see that right here, this is my missing number. Now I need to look for the rest of the information. It says there are 6 soda cans in each pack sold. 6 soda cans in each pack sold. The table below shows the number of packs sold at different times. What is the missing number of soda cans in the table? So now here we need to look at the table to analyze it and decide what strategy can we use to solve for the missing number. So I can see my titles. On the top part, I'm looking at the number of packs that are sold. And on the bottom, it's giving me the total number of soda cans. So this is the first pair of numbers that goes together. When they sold 2 packs of soda, there was 12 total cans. When they sold 4 packs of soda, there was 24 total cans. When they sold 6 packs of soda, there was 36 total cans. And I'm trying to find how many total cans there were when they sold 7 packs of soda. So here, when I'm looking at a relationship between pair of numbers, we're talking about the 4 operations. We have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We need to choose between those 4 to determine what the relationship is between the 2 and the 12, what the relationship is between the 4 and the 24, between the 6 and the 36, and between the 7 and the unknown number. So first off, we should evaluate. From the 2 to the 12, the number is increasing. From 4 to 24, it is also increasing. Therefore, it cannot be subtraction and it cannot be division, because subtraction reduces your number and division reduces your number. So now we're between either addition and multiplication. But if I look back at my problem, it has this very important word, each. It's telling me that there are 6 soda cans in each pack sold. And like we learned, when we see that word each, that usually means we can use our get strategy. And if we're using our get strategy, then addition is out of the picture, because the get strategy is only for multiplication and division. But since we already eliminated division, the only thing left is multiplication. So now we can use our get strategy to plug in the information we know. We know the each. We know there are 6 soda cans in each pack. So I'm going to put here 6 cans in each pack. Now, since I'm only solving for the 7, that's the only one I'm going to look at right now. It's telling me that there are 7 packs sold. That's my groups. There are 7 packs sold. And I'm trying to find the T total, like it says in my table, the total number of soda cans. So if I use my get strategy like I'm supposed to, I can see that when I have the number of groups and I have the number in each group, I'm trying to find the total, it's multiplication, just like we saw right here. So we can check that we were correct in choosing multiplication as our operation. So we're going to do now 7 times 6 equals blank. Now if we use the multiplication chart that we've made, we can easily check that 7 times 6 is 42. That means that there are 42 soda cans in 7 packs sold. This is my answer statement right there. So like you saw here, the relationship was between a pair of numbers. The 2 went with the 12, the 4 went with the 24, the 6 went with the 36, and the 7 went with the 42. Now here I can check that I did the correct operation. I multiplied by 6. 2 times 6 equals 12. 4 times 6 equals 24. 6 times 6 equals 36. And 7 times 6 equals 42. In tables, there's always a pattern. There's always a rule. Whatever you do to one number, you do to the rest of them as well. So here we can see that our rule was to multiply the number of packs sold times 6 because there was 6 soda cans in each pack sold. Okay, so your notebook should look like this, except with the circling and underlining done in the problem like I just modeled before. So now we're going to look at a different kind of table. We have this table right here. This should be glued into the bottom of your notebook. Again, remember, you can pause the video as much as necessary throughout it. So we're going to follow the same process. We're going to read the question, then look for the information we need. The question is down at the bottom, and it's asking, what is the relationship between the number of pens and the number of pencils? I'm looking for the relationship between the number of pens and the number of pencils. The table shows the relationship between the number of pens and pencils sold at Office Depot on different days. I have my number of pens and I have my number of pencils. So here, just like before, we're looking at pairs of numbers, and I'm looking at the relationship between pens and pencils. So the relationship is between the 78 and the 110, between the 95 and the 127, between the 83 and the 115, and between the 72 and the 104. Those are my pairs of numbers. Just like before, when we're talking about a relationship, we're talking about using one of the 4 operations. So here, going from pens to pencils, I can see that from 78 to 110, the number is increasing. From 95 to 127, it's increasing. For all the rest of them, the numbers are increasing. So again, we're looking at either addition or multiplication, because subtraction and division would have decreased our number. So here, if I look at it, I don't see anywhere where it tells me that there's equal groups or that there's an equal amount in each group. So I think that I can eliminate multiplication. That leaves me with division. So now looking at my relationship from 78, I had to add something to get to 110. For 95, I had to add something to get to 127. From 83, the same thing. From 72, the same thing. So I'm going to write this over to the side to show my relationship. 78 plus something equals 110. 95 plus something equals 127. 83 plus something equals 115. And 72 plus something equals 104. Now again, just like before, like I said, tables always have a pattern, they always have a rule. So this plus something that is being added should all be the same number. I should be adding the same amount to each of them, because the tables, again, like I said, have a rule that is followed by all of the relationships. Okay, so here, since I'm missing one of my addends, but I have my sum, I have my total, I'm going to actually use my inverse operation to solve for this, just like we would with the fact families for multiplication and division. I know that the inverse operation of addition is subtraction. So I'm going to work backwards, and I'm just going to use the first number sentence. I'm going to take 110 and subtract 78, just to see how much I had in a difference between the two numbers. So I have 0 minus 8, I can't do that. The 1 becomes a 0, the 0 becomes a 10. Now I have 10 minus 8, and that's 2. 0 minus 7, can't do that, becomes a 0, becomes a 10. 10 minus 7 equals 3. So this is telling me that 78 plus 32 equals 110. So before I can decide that that's my answer, I'm going to check with the rest of them. So I'm going to go 95 plus 32. 5 plus 2 is 7. 9 plus 3 is 12. That tells me 127. That is correct. That's what the table said, so the 32 fits there. 83 plus 32. 3 plus 2, 5. 8 plus 3 is 11, 115. That's correct according to my table, so the 32 fits there. 72 plus 32. 2 plus 2 is 4, 7 plus 3 is 10. That is also correct according to my table, so I can see that I'm adding 32. Now, back to our question, it asked us, what is the relationship between the number of pens and the number of pencils? So just by the table, I can see that there are more pencils. And according to what I did, there was 32 more pencils than there were pens. So that's my relationship. There are 32, excuse me, more pencils than pens. So this is now my answer statement. It took a little bit of work, but I figured out the relationship between the two numbers. So now your notes should look like this, again, just with the underlining and the circle in both of your tables to show your work. These were just two examples of tables, but if you always follow the strategy of writing down your 4 operations and really taking a close look at the pair of numbers to see what operation we're using to relate the two of them, you'll be able to figure out the answer to the question that is asked about the table. Again, make sure that your notes are ready to discuss, and please don't forget to answer the question on Google Classroom, and do not forget that you need to watch the video at least twice, once to write your notes and once to watch the video straight through. See you tomorrow. Bye.